dangerous.
Oh, yeah. I saw him earlier. He was here. You think he's in the other room? He wasn't down the hallway.
Down there because he's second above.
Oh, so,
Oh, yeah. Maybe
so he's
down in
done.
the coffee room. I saw him head down that way about 45 minutes or an hour ago.
Okay, I'd like to bring this meeting to order. And I will take a motion to move to executive session.
Second.
All in favor? Why did he have those comments? How do we just describe it? It's too hard to find.
So that, we're doing that furniture all up, you know. And it's still summer school.
You are, you can see, I can see it on your face. I don't know if I can see your body. It looks like I don't want it, but. You're getting some.
I have enough.
No.
All right. Is this all we got here? Well, I guess 2 minutes, you never know.
Yeah.
Can we start anytime?
Oh, yeah, I guess we can.
You
actually.
can, because the meeting actually starts
Yeah.
at 5:30, so
All
you're
right.
free to go at this point.
So, let's see.
Is Heidi?
What here?
I-
He's on vacation. So we're recording. She'll do the minutes off the recording, but I'm also taking notes.
Okay, so just coming out of executive session was moved by Martha and seconded by me. She always wants to know.
Yes.
Yeah, the time was
We
Yeah.
all approved.
Well, it's like-
7,
5:87.
yeah,
We can figure it out.
yeah, I know.
Well, I just do a little.
Yeah, fine.
Being recorded.
All right.
We corrected.
Okay. So public hearings, Emma Johnson doing business as Artie's, 5 C Street, Northeast Harbor, request for liquor license, new license, restaurant class 3 floor, on premises wine and beer.
I'll speak at once.
Oh, is Emma on?
Nope. Rebecca David.
Usually you don't, oftentimes they won't come unless it's going to be like for public amusement purpose. Uncontroversial, sometimes the public amusement licenses more so.
I did send her the agenda. I thought she might be here because it's her first time.
Yeah. That's what I would imagine, but
I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
all in favor. Right. Post public hearing. Consider approval of Emma Johnson doing business as Artie's, 5 C Street, Northeast Harbor, request for liquor license.
Approval.
Second.
Favor. Minutes, approval of minutes for June 16, 2025.
Move approval. Second.
All in favor? And approval of minutes from June 25, 2025.
Move approval. Second.
All in favor? Appointments, recognitions, and resignations. Appointment of Aiden Mitchell as a seasonal dock hand at Northeast Harbor Marine at $17 an hour.
Second.
All in favor? Confirmation of the appointment of Don Sullivan to the position of Buildings and Grounds effective June 23rd, 2025, at an hourly rate of $27.07, moving to $30.20 after the successful completion of a 6-month probationary period.
Move appointment or move confirmation of the appointment.
Second.
All in favor? Consent agenda, preliminary 2026 state valuation report. Select board meeting schedule, fiscal year 2026. Town of Mount Desert holiday schedule, fiscal year 2026. Shellfish commercial license lottery, 2025. Annual agreements and leases, Chamber of Commerce and neighborhoods.
Move the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Anybody want to pull any of these off? Yeah, all in favor? Select board reports.
Well, it's not a report. I want to ask again about, parking over at Attico. 3 weeks ago when we were here, the guy said they were gonna have it wrapped up and tied with parking off the street. And, today it was all lined up there on the sidewalk and in the road. And who is responsible? If somebody gets hurt, you know, walking because they can't walk on the parking lot. I mean, on their sidewalk. What, I mean, he claimed when they tar, they could park in there, which they tar. So is there anything that can be done about it?
Have the police and have a look at it. Hazard, you can move it. Says it did.
And like I was asking him before, and he said, look, it's gonna be done in a week. If they have to park there, they shouldn't be parking on the sidewalk, but can they at least move toward the corner so that people going around the cars can be back in their lane before they get up around that corner? Where somebody coming the other way is gonna hit.
I thought that had happened.
No, they,
No, it's
not as of
It
today.
is, it's still in those.
I think what's happened is there got so many guys working there and not everybody got the memo,
Yeah,
you know,
well,
but we need to send it again, so.
yeah.
Okay,
I mean, cause I've just got vision, somebody's gonna, I mean, that corner, somebody's gonna end up getting something.
Mail right now.
all right, good, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dicey, so. Any other select board reports? Right, unfinished business, none presented. New business, consider accepting an unconditional gift from Sam Walker, the Mount Desert Fire Department in the amount of $100.
Move acceptance with thanks.
Second.
All in favor? Consider authorizing the fire chief to sign and execute an agreement with Pettifond Engineering and Design for professional engineering services. The agreement amounts to $44,800 and pertains to the design bidding process for a replacement generator at the Seal Harbor Fire Station. Funding for this agreement is between Fire Equipment Reserve Account number 040300-24470.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, can I change that to fire station reserve, please?
Sorry.
Fire station.
From fire equipment reserve to fire station reserve. Yeah, the account number is correct.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Any discussion?
Boyd, yeah,
Yeah, okay, motion first,
move authorization.
a second,
Second.
okay, discussion.
My question has to do with, I mean, it says just for a new generator, which I know is not a small project. But $44,800 just for the design of the generator project.
Yeah, they're gonna take care of the whole project management, so it's gonna be from the designing, which will be plans, permitting. Electrical, we have to contract electrical engineering. And then they're gonna be on site, doing site visits to make sure that everything is being installed correctly per code. And you have to understand that, as I said in my memo, I think a few months ago, when you asked for the fire station to be surveyed, the generator is now inside. By code, we have to move it outside. We can't put generators in buildings. So that's going to require construction slab. We're gonna have to dig some trenches. We're gonna have to breach the foundation to run the electrical lines in through the, so it's quite a complex project. So that's why we're asking Pettifond to run this project, because clearly I don't have the expertise. To be honest with you, I don't have the time to babysit a project like this, especially when we're relocating a generator.
So you're definitely not just pulling generator out, putting another one in, it's a whole new.
It's a whole new setup, as I said, and this one, the existing is propane. We're gonna have to switch over to diesel because I don't think we have enough land to meet the setback for a generator and a propane tank. Yeah, so we'll have to remove the existing propane tank, and the new generator, proposed generator, will be sitting on top of the diesel tank. That'll be something.
Do we already know that one? Do we already know that the setback?
I don't know, I suspect. This is why we had the survey done, and the survey was just done last week, so that information has been moved up to headlines.
And is the boundary on a private, I mean, close to a private,
Yes,
land?
on two sides. The south side, I believe, is owned by the Village Improvement Society.
There's no chance of getting an easement from them, is there could?
We could, if we had to go down that route. Yeah, yeah. If we want to stick with the propane.
Propane is better, I mean, as far as like winter and stuff like that.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I would prefer propane if we can fit it on the property. but I was prepared to try to seek an easement or, you know, any additional land for the fire station.
Mike, how much do we use that? building?
You mean for the fire department overall, the community? I mean, the community room is used maybe once every 3 months, 4 months, a couple times a month. It might be, I mean, 1 or 2 months might be used a couple times a year. The fire station, it's an all volunteer fire station. It's not staffed, but we still have volunteers. We do have 1 left in Otter Creek and we got 3 left in Seal Harbor, which respond to that station. And we do keep a ladder truck over there too, a fire truck over there.
Thanks.
It's handy to be that close, isn't it, Mike, if something happens up on the hill?
It is, again, that station is unstaffed and we are, as you know, losing volunteers. So I'm not sure there'll probably be a point where we won't have, any volunteers responding to that station. But also just keep in mind, because we have an existing station, here, we do keep a fire truck that keeps your insurance rates reasonable, especially in the Otter Creek area. Because once you get outside that 5-mile range of a fire station, your insurance rates go up quite a bit. So if we did shutter that station, this station here, which would be closest to Otter Creek, is well outside the
Yeah,
fire.
we also keeping an eye on that station as being a potential warming center, cooling center. So
Yeah.
That's
right.
maintain that.
It has in the past, yeah.
Following up on previous on the, do you have any ballpark figure on, like, I know that the engineering costs are looking at 44,000, 45,000, but do you have a ballpark figure of what this project's gonna cost in the end? I mean, is that?
I do not, no, this is where they're gonna get all the information together and put a bid package together for us.
Right.
And then it'll go out to the bid, and that's when we'll get an idea. They do have people they can draw on to get an idea of how much a new generator will cost, how much a new pad will cost to construct, to dig the trenches and install all the electrical lines and stuff like that. But that's just an estimate. Usually you get more concrete prices when you put it out to bid.
Right, and just trying to, just thinking about the proportion of, I mean, I don't know, I have no idea, but I mean, if there's $45,000 to engineer a $200,000 project, that's a pretty high rate of proportionally to that, but
Yeah.
I guess if it's gonna be a whole lot more than that, it's like, that's scary too.
Yeah, well, again, we have a lot of site work that has to be done.
Yeah.
Because we're relocating and.
Okay.
How big is the generator, Mike? No, what the KW is?
I don't know the existing one. It doesn't run the whole building.
It doesn't, so are you gonna get one that would, I mean, you ought to have at least like 25, 30.
I did request that when it went out to bid to put in a generator that would run the whole building. If it comes in at too high, then we can use it, cut it back. But, I initially asked to run the whole building,
So they are also the whole point. If they could keep it as a gas generator, that would probably be a lot cheaper, right? I mean, will they look into that at all, or are you just?
Yeah, no, look, yeah, as long as we have the room there, this is the survey was done.
Okay,
And now the survey is out to head of fires. They're gonna determine whether we have the setback.
okay, so they're gonna kind of give you the next recommendation for, okay.
I think that we ought to at least go to the neighbors and ask them if they would mind, if they don't mind, we don't have to have that setback. I think that'd be worth talking to them and find out if that was, would be okay with them. If it would run up against a house, I understand they wouldn't, but, that might cheapen things up a little bit.
Yeah. So there's 2 residents there that you want me to ask the residents if we could have some of their property to.
No, not some of the property, just get closer to their line, stay on our property, but if we were within that 15 feet.
If they would forgive setbacks.
Yeah.
I get you. Okay, yeah.
But I don't know who does that, would it, I don't know if that would actually be up to you, Mike, or if it would be somebody from the town or.
Well, we can make the initial approach, but I think eventually it'd creep into legal.
Yeah,
The other consideration, from my understanding, that one of those great big tanks has to be X number of feet away from the building, but those pigs can be pretty much right up against you. Get as many of the pigs as you want, like
Right.
But we have,
That's just.
They have to be 12 feet away from the generator.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's 12, might be 15, but I think it's 12.
It's just a way to avoid having to have I mean, that's. Looking at that at a project.
a larger, yeah.
Because most times you want to get a great big generator, great big tank, but the tank can't be close to the building or the generator. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Please vote.
Okay, all in favor?
Thank you.
It's like,
Okay, request authorization to solicit bids for general obligation bonds, and finance projects approved at the 2025 annual town meeting consistent with the requirements identified in Articles 26 through 30 and associated disclosures and total principal amount of $7,645,000.
move authorization.
Second,
All in favor? Accept the donation of land from Island Housing Trust for the extension of Sydney's Way and Farms Way as part of the Phase 3 River Sewer Development, and authorize the Public Works Director to, along with the town and legal counsel, finalize the quitclaim deed with the covenants.
move approve, move acceptance.
Second.
All in favor?
What's that for?
That's to shorten the period of time that they don't have to petition to have a second part of a small housing development roadway.
Oh,
Be given over to the town. They can just extend. That's the short version of Sydney. Barnum's Way is already. We've already extended
I was
that.
reading that, I didn't quite
Yeah,
understand.
they're gonna add another phase in Farnham's Way subdivision and rather than have. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, it's 9 more houses than it was a warrant article. It was passed.
Yes.
We accepted, and this is just one of the approval process.
Yeah.
You're given authority. to
These
accept it.
flowers,
They're giving us a deed, so I'll break it to
Yeah.
you. And then that deed, we'll finalize it and then file it with the county, and we own the land. That means that the project can move forward with the construction of the road. One of the components of the bond bid that just passed is construction of that road and sewer system as well. So
it's, yeah, just sort of the
Which is a warrant.
process. So, because we're gonna do it anyway.
Good.
Yeah.
You and approve the purchase of a 2025 Ram 2500 crew cab 4x4 from Port William of Bangor, Maine. $49,544 after trading from account Public Works Equipment Reserve Account Number 4050100-24500.
Approval.
Second,
You really make an effort on an electrical vehicle.
we have very, we can do that because most of them have plows. And you can- The only way we can do that with this is the buildings and grounds truck. Doesn't have a plow, it's just right. Two-wheel drive vehicle.
All right.
They just have to ask.
Yeah.
Dodge?
That's,
They come with a bag, so nobody sees you driving it? It'll be in here?
You can talk to my mechanics about that.
Did we vote?
no, all in favor? Review and approve road salt purchase from New England Salt and state of Maine. Viewer purchases at $73.50 per ton and an estimated need of 1,700 tons.
Approval.
second,
Discussion? All in favor?
Bargain, so.
You know. You and approve the purchase of ultraviolet disinfection system upgrades for Soulsville and Seal Harbor wastewater treatment plants in the amount as authorized in warrant article 28 at May 6, 2025 annual town meeting.
move approval,
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Authorize the Public Works Director to contract with staffing agency for the hiring of seasonal personnel.
Move authorization. It's really too bad.
second.
Yeah. Any discussion?
Is it because you can't fill the position? You're in.
So typically it's 2 new refuse workers and 1 B and G. This year I wanted to have a 3rd refuse worker, sort of for some of these reasons. And also we're trying to transition away from having the town garage just open to the public. I gate that off. I wanted to have someone at the recycling centers trying to keep trash things, keep it cleaned up. So I wanted 3 and I lost 2. So I'm down to one. And in the middle of summer, hire someone.
Is it who, why did they leave?
One was injury and one just physically didn't want to do the job. Decided to do something else. So it's just really tough at this point in the season. So
Yeah.
I started by reaching out to a few different temp agencies, and one of them was very positive about it, because they had already worked and done this for Casella. So they've put people on the back of a trash truck before. These are non-union positions, they're seasonal. This is the only place where we can do it. And this way I feel as though when we get someone, if it doesn't work out, they have another person they can plug in. We're not gonna be constantly,
Right.
And these aren't benefit eligible
they're
positions.
not benefit element
No.
positions, they're, $25 an hour, summer jobs.
I think,
Yeah, trying to get through
Yeah.
the Saturday after Labor Day. Yeah,
You don't give them some kind of hot water with a union for.
they're non-union positions.
Yeah.
Don't.
Okay.
These are non-union positions. These are summer seasonal only, and this is all we can do. We can't do anything like this for seasonal positions at all. I wouldn't propose that ever. This is just for non-union, no benefit, $25 jobs.
I think
It's a good
Yep.
solution.
Good, all in favor? Great, thanks, Brian. Yeah. And then approve the town council list to add Tibbetts Law.
move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
It should be the last of them.
And approve office closure for clerks networking day.
So,
Approval.
Second,
Good discussion.
Do we do that every year?
Yes.
Okay, I just don't, I don't remember.
By statute, you have to let the clerks go, but because that means closing the office, we bring it to you.
and there's no point in trying to keep the office open because other people in the office can't do the things that those clerks do. Clarifying question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All in favor? Good. Public comment, any public comment? Nope. Other business.
Yes,
Oh.
a couple of meetings,
It goes.
a piece of other business, a couple of meetings ago, so put it grudgingly, agreed to be the liaison to the Luso committee. And Rodney has graciously stepped forward and said he'll do it. So I would like to ask the board to revote the appointment and appoint Rodney as liaison to the Luso committee.
So moved.
Second,
Great, all in favor? Wonderful, thank you, Rodney.
As long as I don't end up in the corner, and somebody putting knuckles to me.
I don't want to use.
No one's gonna put the knuckles to you. All right,
I wanted to get an update on the Seal Harbor Comfort Station, but I'll give them a call.
Oh, I know.
Yes, got one today, and I'll get one.
yeah, so it is on the list for NCM to do the electrical work there. They have done some of the electrical work, as you know, I think we reported last time, at least the place that's working. We did a little bit of asphalt work down there, and I have a partial design from the engineer right now, for putting the concrete surface in conjunction with getting the piping in place, because we have to have it so that out of the back of those toilets then is connected and gravity works to get it down to the pumping station and all that. But we are getting very close. I'm hoping to get that bid out to a few different contractors here very quickly, and hopefully get somebody down there very soon to get those.
can you ask you where these inquiries come from? Do they come from people visiting? People-
No, locals, from Seal Harbor.
That's why we have to do it.
But just to clarify, we do have two porta potty stations.
Yes,
So you're not stranded.
Which is what we do at other
Right.
apartments.
Right.
Plantings, four fives, that's why a lot of ponds and is four fives, and there's just been the building there for a long time, so
Yeah.
it's out there, and the pump station put it down. So it's a little different circumstance there, and we do have the pump station, so we're trying to do something that utilizes that. Actual facilities for sure, but
Takes
it's,
a while.
it's taken a while. But we're continuing to work on it.
my granddaughter says, Mimi, don't apologize if you didn't do anything wrong.
I can't talk.
my feeling is that if we put in another one, we're gonna get another big storm.
That's why we didn't want to put the building back.
And
Right.
these are portable, we can just take some forks.
Yeah.
We can just unscrew the back of them
What's the
and
ones
set
that-
the pipe aside.
They're
Down the ranch. They're nice.
Okay.
Yeah, they are nice looking.
And then we can take some forks and put them on flatbed and get them out of there.
Oh,
Like the less porta potties.
There's. Nice. Just fancy.
Queens Dine, where-
Yeah, but that's
Well, of course, there's boards and sinks and running water.
Jeff,
There's space.
Jeff, the Queens Dine.
Yeah.
Brian, can I
A couple times I've been there, that they're very clean, they're very like, I,
We have a good maintenance group.
Yeah.
that Takes care of the porta potties that we do have, and then we also go around, that's part of our buildings and grounds. Commission's responsibility is to check up on all of that and make sure that, because they don't get serviced fully to the level that we would like, so we find something.
Well, very good.
Brian, it has nothing to do with that, but, I got a question about the pole and the stones around it. That has made it, that stone on the north side, so you might be able to get a trailer in there. You can't do anything with trash on the other side of it, and I called Bobby Peasley, and I don't remember if it was you or John said that, the hydro said the only way that they put that there is if you had rock. He said, no, it's not true. He can't tell you. He said he can't tell you what you do. That's private hole. And he can't tell you what to do with it. And, he said, he said, well, it'd be nice if you want to put a rock there, but he said, you don't have to. And the old pole was there for 60 years or more, ever since I can remember. They never had one there. So I don't know if that rock is really necessary. Or any of them, to be truthful.
Yeah.
And you can call him. I don't, you must have worked with Bobby before, right?
Yeah, because that's, because we didn't want a guy wire there,
Yeah,
because then it would have been much further out.
right.
In order to get a guy wire. And we didn't want to get too
Exactly, right.
close to the edge either, so he worked with us on placement and he was there when we decided on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but if you could call him, I'd appreciate it, because he told me, no, we can't tell them, you have to do this, it's your pole.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right, any other business? All right, treasurer's warrants. Approval and signature, town invoice AP 2601, AP 2602, and DD 2601 for a total of $1,821,961.19.
Move approval and signature.
All in favor? Approval and signature, paying of state fees and payable benefits. AP 2579, AP 2580, AP 2603, town payroll PR 2529, PR 2530, and PR 2601 for a total of $561,143.55.
Approval.
Second.
All in favor?
one extension.
Acknowledgements, school invoices. AP 15. School payroll, PR 26 and PR 1. And no voided disbursements, and for a total of $377,394.16.
Acknowledgement.
Second.
And the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Favor?